Good morning, guys. Good morning. It's 4th of July, 5:44 a.m. We're feeling lovely. The coffee has just been made. Let me go grab me coffee right quick. Yum, yum, yum. It's probably the last coffee we have because we're out of coffee beans. I didn't get a chance to sort that out. But we had some Parisien, but it was French press grind, so it's like half and half. That's all right. That's all right. We learned to survive. We certainly learned to do good. It's all good. It's all good. Well, it's 4th of July. Yes. 1776, I believe. The American Revolution. Very nice. Very nice. I also think that I do miss 4th of July. Yes. The barbecues and the celebrations and just the overall patriotism that was offered around that time. It was good times. Good times. Shout out to the people celebrating 4th of July. One thing about patriotism is, since we're just on the 4th of July, the freedom that you get, right? You have to remember, which is something insane or crazy or shocking. The founding fathers were actually traders because they came from England, right? Where I'm right now. And I always found that people who are being rebellious, the moment that they're being rebellious could go either way. Say they failed, they would have been persecuted, right? I mean, they would have been hung for treason and all. But because they succeeded, today they are known as heroes. Whether it's Benjamin Franklin, James Adams, George Washington, and what happens is history gets rewritten, or history gets written, I believe. Not rewritten, but written, right? Wherever you end up, on whichever side of history, just remember, it's about doing first. If you take the initiative to do and try and say, this is what I stand for, good, bad, nobody's there to judge. Because at that time, what were they doing? Something good? No, they were doing something bad. They were going against the grain. They were rebelling. The Boston Tea Party, and they wasted all that tea, but that was rebellious. So who's right and who's wrong? Today we think they're right, but that time they did think they were right. So it's in the moment and the courage that you have to make that change. You have to have that courage to make the change in the moment, because time will pass. Let me say this again, time will pass. Have the courage right now to make the moves. Have the courage right now to make the moves. Time will pass. Unfortunately, when I say that, I also have to say that with the asterisk, because it comes with consequences. It comes with consequences, my friends, because it could go either way. It could go either way. And sometimes we don't see the side of the consequence because we haven't calculated the consequence. It's not always easy to calculate that either. And what I struggle with is not the advice that just head and go and do it, but because I've done so many things so many times, I've also realized that be careful of that one line that you cannot come back from. Don't push yourself on that corner where you cannot recoup and then try again. So I'll put it this way, right? Say you're playing football, basketball, right? And you're giving your heart out. But also you have to be mindful that when you're doing those slides or you're doing something that is a little bit more daring, right? You can break your foot and you will be benched, or you can hurt your hand and you'll be benched and you'll never recoup, and that's it, that's gone. So for me, my foot, I hurt it and I really can't play football and all that again, or basketball, because that bone is very fragile now. So when you go to see that when you get a sprain and you can't then recoup immediately. So life is like that sometimes. I hope it's slightly making sense in terms that go for it, but see if you can mitigate something bad, right? Like example, if you have a business and you're willing to put everything on the line, okay, great. But if you go that far and you're bankrupt and you can't, now you can't get another loan, you can't start up, or something of that drastic nature that you cannot recoup from, is what I'm saying slightly be careful of, right? Have the laissez-faire attitude for sure. It works out, it's great. I also really believe that if you keep taking the risks, it will pay off, right? Like people say. But you have to take the risks with a little bit of calculation, and then it makes sense. Don't take it blindly. Please do not take it blindly. That would be a mistake. That's what I believe. We have L-theanine. Shout out to L-theanine. And the beauty of it is that you may fail. But in today's time, what I like is, because we have a lot of use of social media, we can document it. Even if you fail, you can still become famous, right? Document your journey. It's unique. I talk to the camera now every day, right? Not because for any other reason. One, I want to share some information. I want to share some updates. And I like talking to the camera. And I like to create. And I like to spread awareness and knowledge. And there are a few things that are coming up. Like, Mr. ADHD Finance. Because I have a financial background. So I want to talk about finance. I would like to talk about health and fitness. Right? I like going to the gym. But I also realize that it's not only the gym. Like other things to make yourself feel nice. And exercising, The other part is that there's so many places that I like to travel to. So Mr. ADHD travels, and talking about travel and tourism and the foods. It's great, and it's so much fun. And I feel that to share and then to be a part of something where you have a community of people who all like, yes, that's nice. Or no, it's not nice, Sahil. I think this is my advice, or this is my opinion, and that's how the world can move on, right? You share your opinion, and you make sense, and you're like, okay, well, I agree with him, but I don't agree with that person, and that's okay. Just do it nicely, peacefully, and maturely if you can, and that's great. Sometimes, because we forget that, things go wrong. However, I feel that the world will keep continuing. The world will plod on day after day. So don't stop. Just go. Whatever it is you feel like doing, just get the start. Remember, the time will pass. So fill it in with good things. Fill it in with memories that you can account for. Fill it in with memories that you can account for. The point is that it's very simple, that you have a movie that you're making of your life. Are you proud of it? Are you happy with it? Are you happy with the memories? And these people who talk that way, I agreed. I was like, oh yeah. But I said, there's certain scripts that are written that are so painful that you cannot recoup from that. You cannot come back from that. I've been torn away from different places in life, from people and relations. And now I'm like, well, how do you do that? No, you got to constantly restart. But you have to remember, when you restart, you may not have the same energy. Where do you get the energy from? When you're exhausted, when you're just bogged down so much, that where are you going to bring that fresh energy from? Right? And that's what happens, is that you don't have infinite amount of chances. You do not have infinite amount of chances. So the things that you do, make it count. Keep trying, but make it count towards a goal that you feel is right. Pick a niche. Pick something you're passionate about. Pick something you want to be like, okay, even if I fail 100 times, but it's within, I'm learning. And in my opinion, that I have thought, in the crux of it, that's what works. It's about that, actually. It's how we make ourselves feel on a daily basis. If you wake up and you just don't like what you're doing, reach out for help. Reach out for help wherever you can, saying, look, this is what the situation I'm in. Don't just help me, but give me some options and explain them. my current situation, if somebody came up and said, right, these are the options along with the consequences, pick one. And you're like, what? None of them are nice. I don't want to do this. This is like insane. But guess what? That's all I have in front of me. So, without being grumpy about it, without saying, oh, I just have to say, okay. If you're intelligent, you will see that the best of options have minimal consequences. They're just not preferred or favored by society, perhaps. So that means is that if you get a chance to do something and you can calculate the consequences, and you may not approve of it, you may not like it, but think of it from non-emotional terms. Is it really that bad? Is it really that bad that if I get this support or if I do this, it will be beneficial for me in the long run? For example, I met a few people and they still live with their parents at home, but they're making a full wage. And I was like, oh wow, what do you do? Do you save it? No, I just go for holidays and I hang out. I was like, oh, no. Why don't you invest? So one other person said, yeah, that's what I do. I just save my money and I'm trying to head out. I said, don't head out. Stay there. If your parents don't mind, stay there. Collect that money. Invest for yourself, because in a few years it will pay off. And people will have different perspectives. People have different attitudes. People will see things differently. But regardless, at the end of it, the choices you make on a daily basis may not seem significant, but they will add up for that one moment that you really need it. They will add up for that one moment that you really need it. And at that time, you're like, oh, how did I end up here? Oh, my friend, series of decisions have led you to this moment. And I truly feel that sometimes the decisions that you don't make you end up in a situation that you don't want to be in. And that's called life. That's called life. Sometimes people will make a decision on your behalf. And there's nothing that we can do about it. And it hurts because I would have liked to make my own decisions to lead me to where I am. But I've realized that that is not what life is about. Life is not going to let you do that. Because everybody's also moving at their pace. And when they collide with you, right, it pushes you, or it can push you in this right direction or that direction. And that is true. That's why I say, keep moving. If you do not plan your day, my friend, listen to this carefully. If you do not plan your day, somebody else will. If you do not build your own dreams, somebody else will hire you to build theirs. Absolute truth. I've witnessed it and I'm doing that right now. I'm working for somebody else. I don't want to. I'm doing things at certain times that I don't want to because I left my life too blank and I let people in the wrong way. Do I regret it? Well, I don't have a choice in certain ways, right? What can I do now? It is that I put myself, and I take full blame. I put myself in a position and I didn't think it through and I didn't have the confidence. That's the word. Let me say that, right? I didn't have the confidence because sometimes when you have too much emotional trauma inside, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, but you cannot then think beyond a certain point and you get trapped again. And it is true. That's how it happens. That coffee was delicious. Thank you very much. But greatness is coming. Positive vibes and greatness is coming. Day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. We're going to go for the big leagues. We're going to go. 2025 is a year we cement ourselves. And we go. Because 2026 is going to be... We're going to move to the next level, guys. The next level. Absolutely. And the best part for me is that you guys will be there on the front seat on the ride to go up with me. The failures, the successes, the goods, the bads, the every day will be a new day, new adventure. We'll make this world a better place. I promise you that. With good businesses, with good opportunities, with inclusivity, and lots of love and art